Good evening, folks. Welcome to another episode here with Hayden B. Grilling. Now tonight we're going to make some fried taters with some sausage and some onions and some squash in it. This is a meal we used to eat when we were younger and it was really good, so we're going to give it a try tonight. But before we get into that, let me just say thank you. Thank you to each and every one of you, because I made the tuna video yesterday. And then when I woke up this morning, I had 101 subscribers. And folks, that was just freaking exciting and awesome, and I cannot thank each and every one of you enough. For tonight's meal, we're going to need 2 potatoes, half an onion, some type of smoked sausage, that's all your choice, and 2 squash. Alright folks, now we've rinsed our potatoes off. We're just going to cube the potatoes up, cut them down kind of nice cube size. Alright folks, now we got our potatoes cut up. We're going to add some vegetable oil to the skillet. We're just going to put enough in there to cover the bottom of the skillet. There we go. Now we're going to turn our burner on to a medium heat. Now that we got our oil in the skillet, we'll go ahead and add our potatoes into the skillet. And then we're going to take our spatula, just kind of stir them all around, get them all nice and coated with that cooking oil. While our potatoes are warming up in the grease, we're going to go ahead and start slicing our squash, getting it ready. And once you got your squash sliced up, just go ahead and put it in a bowl, because it's going to have to sit for a moment. Don't worry, the counter is clean. Once you got your squash all cut and in the bowl, then we're going to start slicing this onion. Alrighty, so we got our squash and we got our onion sliced and cut up. And the reason we're not putting those directly in is because we need to let those potatoes cook till they're about 3/4 of the way done. Otherwise, if you put those squash in there, the squash is basically going to just kind of disintegrate and burn itself up before it gets a chance to be finished while waiting on the potatoes. Now that we've got our squash and our onion cut, we're going to go ahead and start slicing up this sausage. Alrighty folks, our grease is starting to get good and hot and our potatoes starting to cook. So we're going to add some salt. We're going to add in some pepper to our potatoes. Once you get those sprinkled in there, just take your spatula, just work them all around. Now we just let them continue to cook a little bit longer, and then eventually we'll add in our squash and our onions. Folks, you're going to need to stir these potatoes around fairly often to keep them from sticking to the bottom. Alright folks, now the potatoes have started cooking through and started getting softer, we're going to add those squash. We're going to add our onion and our sausage. And once you got all that in the skillet's looking pretty dang full, ain't it? You're just gonna continuously stir this all around, so that way everything gets good and greased up and starts to cook through. Alrighty folks, so our vegetables are starting to slowly but surely soften up. We already put our salt and pepper on them. I'm gonna take Mr. Good Rub here, and I'm just gonna sprinkle it into the pot. And then I'm going to stir all that around, get it all stirred in good. And we're just going to let it continue cooking until all the squash is tender and the potatoes are tender. And our sausage is already cooked when it comes out of the package, so all we're doing with it is just getting that heat to it. Alrighty folks, now I didn't time this thing or anything to see how long it took us from start to finish. But our potatoes are soft, our squash is soft, onion soft, sausages are nice and heated through. So we're about to get some of this on a plate. Alrighty folks, we got some squash, some sausage, onion, and potato on this bite. We're gonna give it that important taste test. Folks, that's a home run. That is a home freaking run. Now, hindsight, I might want to cut my squash up into smaller bites, smaller sizes, but because those big slices of squash took up a lot of room in the skillet. But as far as the recipe or whatnot, I wouldn't do a damn thing different. That was real good, and you better believe I'm gonna do this one again. But if you guys have any comments, any suggestions, please let me know. Leave a line. And folks, thank y'all so much for those of you that have subscribed and watched this channel. And so please, if there's some new viewers out there, if you like what you see, please hit that like, subscribe. And we'll see y'all on the next one.